Ohio's early voting is also underway, and one senator from the state says learning who won there will not take as long as people think. I spoke with Democratic Senator Sherrod Brown earlier this week. We discussed how the top of the ticket is impacting some important down-ballot races. That's where we pick up our conversation. Well, the president, as you know, has hit the campaign trail again, and his closing pitch in these final weeks before November 3rd is that he's defeated the virus. He's promising to make whatever treatments he was given available to everyday Americans and that people should not be afraid of the coronavirus. What do you make of that closing argument? What effect do you think that might have on down ballot races?
Well, I saw the president dancing at one of his rallies uh, as he tried to deflect blame for 220,000 people dying under his watch in the highest unemployment we've faced in this country in my lifetime. And I would prefer a somber-minded president who told us the truth and directly took responsibility for the failures combating the coronavirus and his colossal failures in building the economy. I think the voters recognize that. I think the president's desperate. The president knows he's going to lose. Mitch McConnell, the Senate leader, knows the Republicans are going to lose the Senate. And I think that I've seen more excitement on the local level among Democrats that we're going to, among local candidates and Democrats, early voting, all that they know changes are coming. And we've got to get serious next year with a new president and a new Senate dealing with to combat this coronavirus and to get the economy back in shape.
There is little movement on COVID relief. The Senate, though, is moving ahead with Judge Amy Coney Barrett's nomination to the Supreme Court. Now, Democrats are casting her as a threat to Americans' health care coverage. What questions would you like to hear answered this week when it comes to that issue?
Well, I know that the judge from Indiana is not going to answer the question, what would you do about the Affordable Care Act? But I also know that President Trump nominated her and has publicly said he nominates somebody that will overturn Roe v. Wade, a woman's right to choose, a women's health issue, and that the president will nominate someone only that he is certain will overturn the Affordable Care Act. And that means in my state alone, 5 million people who have a pre-existing condition. That was before the coronavirus hit. 5 million people out of a state of 12 million have a pre-existing condition. Their health care is absolutely threatened. They can lose their insurance because of this pre-existing condition. The protections will be wiped away by this nominee and others on the Supreme Court.
I wonder, Senator, in our closing minutes here, what are some of the issues you think Democrats maybe have not paid enough attention to in the lead up to this election, given all of the news developments that we have been seeing on the coronavirus, on the economy? Are there other topics that you would like to see Democrats talk about more?
I'm always pushing my party nationally to talk more about the dignity of work and about workers. And when I say workers, I mean all workers, whether you punch a clock or swipe a badge or work for tips or work on a salary, whether you're raising children or taking care of parents. And I see Joe Biden as the most pro-worker candidate nominated by either party in my lifetime. And it's clear that Biden talking about the dignity of work and pensions and wages contrasted with Trump's everyday betrayal of workers is what will have the biggest impact on this election and why I think that Donald Trump will be a one-term president. But I urge all of my colleagues to talk more about the dignity of work and make that contrast with President Trump's betrayals.
Do you think that a focus on some of these other issues has come at the cost of making that kind of connection about work to working class voters?
Well, I think that working class voters will come home in large numbers to a Democratic Party that's always been the working class party. I mean, Republicans have always been the party of big business. They've been the party of tax cuts for the rich. They've been the party of weakening environmental rules and worker safety rules and civil rights protections for workers. And Democrats just need to sing that out a little bit louder, a little more loudly, and need to, again, make the elections are about whose side are you on and make the contrast between Democrats, the worker party, and Republicans, the party of corporate interests that comes down on the side of the drug companies and the insurance companies and Wall Street.
Will we have the results out of Ohio on November 3rd?
Yeah, Ohio's one of those states where we do it right. We have early voting. We've had 2 million people request absentee ballots. That was as of a week or so ago. And hundreds of thousands, probably a million in the end, will vote early. In addition to that, the Board of Elections has those ballots ready to put in the counter when the ballots close, put in the electric counter, whatever. And I would assume by 10 or 11 o'clock, we'll know a lot about whether Ohio's really close or whether it's not close. But Ohio is absolutely in play, and Trump won Ohio by 8 points last time. It's clear Trump is afraid he's going to lose Ohio this time. I think he's right, that Joe Biden will win the state, and election night will not be as long as people are predicting it will be, and that Trump's antics after the election to try to overturn the election will fall on deaf ears.
Senator Sherrod Brown of Ohio. Senator, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Riley. It's a pleasure. Thank you.